I want to talk about economic issues. The Democratic Party, it often appears, has just written off, especially the white working class, which I assume is a significant part of your constituency, condemning them as kind of racists and bigots. Hillary Clinton called them deplorables, and at least to my mind, not dealing with the very real and distressing economic pain that was caused in large part by a Democratic administration, Bill Clinton. Um, and I just want your take on the importance of the economy in the election and to what extent that economic dislocation, in your mind, is behind the rise of a figure like Trump.
Well, first of all, the rise of Donald Trump is directly connected to trade policies which decimated industrial areas in the Midwest. The grass years ago was growing in parking lots where they used to make steel, used to make cars, used to build ships, used to make planes or parts for planes. And America's agreements, the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, the General Agreement on Tariff and Trade, GATT, Most Favored Nation, China, all were about the destruction of wages, the destruction of unions, the destruction of a middle class, and so that these goods could be made overseas and then brought back to the United States, where the profits would go to the corporations. So you've seen a destructive undermining of America's middle class as a result of these trade agreements. I mean, I've called for the repeal of NAFTA numerous times when I was in Congress. I voted against China trade because I just saw that it would accelerate the decline of American manufacturing. And, so Trump arrives at this moment of anger among people who used to have a pretty good standard of living, only to see it start to slip away. And this is not just a social issue and an economic issue, it's a national security issue. If someone is concerned about America being able to defend itself, well, if you don't have the ability to make steel, make automotive products, ships, airplanes, how do you defend yourself? We have had our manufacturing capacity severely eroded, and frankly, it's it started with a Democratic administration. So people remember that. They also remember the Wall Street bailout. This is when Barack Obama came in, and basically Obama and McCain, unfortunately, agreed to bail out the banks. Well, into the casino economy, banks get bailed out, millions of people lost their homes, people saw the value of their homes decline, and what's happening right now, you got a housing market where people cannot, either can't buy a home or can't get rid of a home they want. The market is static right now. Interest rates are up. What it cost a few years ago, 21% of a budget, I think it was 10 years ago, 21% of a family's budget would go towards housing. Now it's over 40%. Think about what that means. The economic forces that have been aggregating and growing over the last few decades are now arriving squarely in the 2024 election. And frankly, with the inflation on major staples of American households, this is a tough time, I think, for the administration to try to explain itself. And on top of that, adding to the debt, $34 trillion debt, and putting all of these wars on the credit card. I mean, I think the American people have had it up to here with all the money that is being spent for war, well, their own basic needs for healthcare, education, childcare, housing are not being met.